It's Friday night. It's 7 p.m. That means it's time for the Paul Nicky Show. The greatest show on earth. Yeah!
Yay! I am not Nicky New.
I'm not Paul Bitwell.
But this is the Paul and Nicky
Paul
Show.
Yay!
What you been up to? What you been up to, Nick?
Well, same sort of stuff really, like walks and things, and obviously the weather's getting a bit nicer now, isn't it? So that's good. Mind you, it's a bit deceiving, isn't it? Like, because even though like the sun was out yesterday and it was quite warm, today it was quite chilly. So, and yeah, the sun's been out, you know. So yeah, just sort of walks and things. You know, you lose track. Do you know what? Even though we're in this lockdown still, you lose track of time, don't you? You're so sort of consumed and busy with all these other things. You sort of, it just sort of phases into one.
It does. Each day kind of blends into one, doesn't it? So you kind of like,
yeah.
And even the time as well. Like last night we were watching something, and I thought it was like 9 o'clock in the evening, and I looked at the clock. It's 12. I'm like, what?
Yes, I know.
It's just
crazy. Yeah, it does. It feels like that a lot, to be honest. We get that a lot. You sort of think, where has that time gone? It's just, wow. We watched, we've been sort of going through some of the Prime sort of films and stuff. And I think I said to you earlier, we watched, like, because I've always really liked Adam Sandler for comedy. But we watched the film called The Cobbler, which to be honest, I think I may have heard of it before, but it obviously didn't sort of attract me enough to sort of want to watch it. But yeah, I think like it's probably not one of his better films. It's a shame, isn't it? Because he's normally very good, but he wasn't playing his normal sort of part. So
no.
It's
more of a kind of serious drama sort of thing, isn't it? It's odd. It's an odd film because he's not funny in it. And it's supposed to be kind of like almost like mysterious and supernatural, that he takes on, like he becomes the person he puts his feet into their shoes, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. There's no spark in the film. There's no.
No.
Nah. Adam Sandler. He just needs to stick to comedy. He is good at comedy. Stick to comedy. Stick at what you're good at. And don't try and branch out too much.
So, yeah. That was a little bit disappointing, but you've got to give these films a go, because unless you watch it, you're not going to know, are you? So, you know. What about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I got a new book out this week.
Yay!
I might pop it up on the screen right now so people can see the cover of it. It's called Your 7 Days to Joy. And basically, it's a 7-day program. And if you follow the 7 steps over 7 days, by the end of the week, you will feel, I guarantee this, you will feel 100% better than what you did at the beginning. And over a period of time, as you maintain this, as you keep this going, your levels of joy, or your joy level, will soar through the ceiling. And your anxiety and depression and kind of general feeling of kind of malaise and kind of feeling low, that will dissipate more and more. And these aren't principles that I've copied from a book. These are principles that I have learned through my own life and experience. They're principles that work. They're principles I used to teach in school when I was a secondary school teacher to the students. It worked for them. It'll work for anyone. And that's the beauty of it. It's easy. It's 7 days. So buy the book. You can get it on Amazon right now. Your 7 Days to Joy. Paperback or ebook.
It's a very reasonable price as well, isn't it, really? For, you know, it's
very
book,
reasonable.
so it's a very reasonable price.
Very reasonable.
Not that it's
feel the quality. Feel the quality. Yeah. So we'll pop that up on the screen right now.
But it is, because sometimes, I mean, some books on similar sort of subjects obviously won't be nowhere near as good as yours. You know, you could be paying about sort of £25-30 for. So you know, it's a very good price.
Yeah, and often those books are so complicated you never actually end up doing what the book tells you to do. So. But this book, once again, it's very straightforward, very simple. 7 days, read 1 chapter a day. At the end of the week, if you've done what it said, you're going to feel amazing. Guaranteed, because it works for me and it works for so many others. Buy the book.
Yeah.
All right. Happy, what is coming up next?
Freaky facts.
Wow, was that the longest one you've ever done? That was pretty long. I'm going to ask Mr. Spoony. Mr. Spoony, he's still wearing his... was that the longest Freaky Facts Nick has ever done?
Spoony, 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 Spoony.
He's saying yes, look.
Spoony,
He's saying yes.
Spoony.
Mr. Spoony, I bet you're getting fed up, Mr. Spoony, because you should have been here the last... Well, actually, I don't know if last week I lost, but the week before that, Mr. Spoony should have been posted to me and at my house, and I bet he's really getting upset now that he's just been stuck there all that time.
Are you getting upset that you're with Paul all the time? He's saying no.
I don't think that's good doing that.
Would you prefer to go and live with Nicky?
Yes.
He's saying no again.
I think there's a little bit of manipulation going on there.
Would I manipulate a spoon? Come on. What's wrong with you? Okay, what freaky facts you got, Nick?
Okay. Let me see. Yellow teeth are stronger. The natural colour of our teeth is actually a light yellow colour, and whitening your teeth can actually permanently weaken them.
All right, cool.
So just be careful, because it's funny actually, because I have often thought that myself.
What colour am I?
Because I did actually got yours are a nice light yellow. That's good.
Dark yellow. Dark yellow and brown and black. Nice. They're so strong, Paul.
But these days, of course, people have, like, especially if they're on TV and that, most people get their teeth whitened, don't they? They're very pearly white. And, okay, it does look good, but I have often thought that. I wonder if it weakens the enamel.
Yeah.
And it was funny, actually, because even though my teeth aren't bad, to be fair, they're not bad, I did sort of think, I wouldn't mind trying a little whitening kit just to see how much brighter they go, just to see what it's like. And you know what? The funny thing was, and it's just like these little, like, it's almost like, like little gum holder things. And it's just obviously got these active ingredients on there. You just shove it on your teeth, leave it in there for about 5-10 minutes, take it off. And to be honest, it was hard to say really if it had made that much of a difference, to be honest. But what I did notice, and whether this just was coincidental or not, I don't know, but it was strange because I've never had this before. About a week later, I had absolutely terrible tooth pain, real bad.
Okay.
To the point where I did actually ring up the dentist because it was quite painful, and I thought, wonder if there's a problem here or something. And eventually it went. I didn't actually have to do anything in the end, but yeah, it was quite severe, like at the time, to be honest, because tooth pain, if you get it bad, it's not good. It can give you a terrible head. So I don't know, when I think back now, think of that, I wonder if that was linked to where I put this stuff on my teeth.
You never know.
I don't know, might have been coincidental, may not, but when I read that, I sort of thought, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, because really we shouldn't be messing with our teeth too much, should we? So
no, I mean, I've never had that done, but I think if you go to the dentist, they do it like with obviously stronger stuff, because you have to pay through the roof, don't you? Yeah. I think at the dentist it's like hundreds to get done, I think, if you get it done professionally. Yeah. But what, yours was like a shop bought one, was it? Or off Amazon or something? Yeah, just a shop bought, and it was just experimenting a bit, really. Like I say, I wasn't that bothered about it. I just thought, let's just see, if it does match. But did you use it again. Did you buy the product off of Amazon? No. Oh, that's interesting, because you can actually buy my book on Amazon. It's very cheap. Your 7 Days to Joy. Yeah. And just pop it in your shopping cart and you've got the book right there. It's like having me in your home.
Lots of good advertisement,
Hey, okay, I got a freaky fact.
So I just say just be careful with your teeth, with whitening your teeth and stuff. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Anyway,
if you're going to whiten your teeth, do it on Photoshop, like I did on the recent cover of my new book. Did you know? Oh, maybe I did.
I thought there might have been a little bit of airbrushing going on there as well. Line out those little wrinkly bits.
I wish we could airbrush live video. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Okay, did you know that the collars on men's dress shirts used to be detachable? I did not know this. This was to save laundry costs, as the collar was the part that needed cleaning the most frequently.
Right.
But if that's like back in the day, right, and all they did was detach a collar and they didn't have like underarm deodorant and you didn't wash the shirt, people must have ponged. Because when you wear a dress shirt, right, you're not just wearing the shirt, you're probably wearing like the waistcoat, you're probably wearing the jacket. You get hot and you sweat when you're wearing those. And if they're not washing that shirt, they're just washing the collar.
That's pretty grumpy, isn't it?
That's pretty grubby. That's pretty smelly.
I mean, I'm sure they must have washed the shirt at some point. They would just leave it. Oh.
I know, because I wear deodorant and stuff, but even after wearing a shirt for one day, especially if I was in an office and I had like a suit jacket on or something, by the end of the day, that shirt didn't smell great. That has to go in the wash. Not that I smell horrible. I mean, when I sweat, when I perspire, shall I say, it smells of roses, but it still needed to go in the wash at the end of the day.
No, well, it's true, because some people, I don't know, some people obviously just sweat a lot more, and they do kind of tend to pong a lot more than others.
Not that I'm one of those people. I'm reasonably dry.
I must admit, I like to think I'm pretty sort of okay in that area.
Yeah, think what you want.
I don't tend to be too pongy.
Wow.
And I'm not really much of a sweater. I don't really sweat, even when I did all my martial arts and things, and I'd get like a red face, that sort of thing, and like puffed out and whatever, but I've never really been much of a sort of sweater, really. I could be really worn out, but hardly have any sweat coming off of me. So
that's good.
It's funny, isn't it? And other people can be sweating quite profusely, after like a couple of minutes of exercise or something. So it's funny, isn't it, how different we all are.
Yeah, it is bizarre. You got another freaky fact?
Yes. Okay. When you cry, excess stress chemicals are pushed out of your body, helping stabilize the body's chemicals. That is why you feel lighter, apparently.
Hey? How much do you cry? If you cry a bucket full, you're going to feel half a stone lighter, but...
I do know that, to be honest, I can't remember the last time I cried, actually, but I do know that, generally speaking, when you do cry, if you've got a lot of build-up sort of, anxiety or worry or whatever, you do feel a lot better afterwards, don't you? So there's obviously something in that. It makes sense, doesn't it?
How often do you cry as a lady?
Wow. I don't know. It's a bit depressing, isn't it? Do you know what, Paul?
Nick,
not very much, really.
Do you know what's not depressing?
What's that?
My new book, 7 Days to Joy. Get it on Amazon. Ebook or paperback.
Third time.
You keep bringing up the subject. I thought, well.
Do you think everybody would have heard about it by now?
Heard about what?
Might want to get in a couple more just before the end of the show.
Heard about what, Nick? My 7 Days to Joy book.
Yeah.
Okay, so
right,
with tears. To be honest with you, the only time I ever tear up is usually at a film. And
I was just about to say that.
And it's always like an action film. It's always going to be like some kind of... It's not going to be some romantic comedy or anything like that. I just don't care about that. But if it's like some epic film with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and something like that, and he rescues somebody at the end, and the orchestra kicks off, I'm like, oh! I've got to kind of wipe it away so my boys don't see. That's so pathetic.
No, I agree. I'm very similar, actually. I wouldn't say romantic-y kind of films I've ever really cried at, but actiony ones, like something like Gladiator, that is very emotional at the end, and I think I did cry quite a lot at that, because he can see his wife and his son as he's dying, and it's like, wow, that's really emotional. So yeah, I definitely cry things like that.
Yeah. Hey, here's a freaky fact for you.
Yeah.
Did you finish your freaky fact, by the way? You did? Yeah. Sorry, just not with it. That's why I'm eating... Sorry, for those of you who are watching me nibble away, I'm eating my peanuts. Because this is my lunch day. Yeah. I'm not I'm not eating very much at the moment. I'm on my diet. I'm going on Revelation TV soon. Need to lose some of the my triple chins. Get rid of that.
Diet again, beef and cheese.
Beef and cheese.
Beef
Okay.
and baby bells. Beef and cheese.
Did you know that there is a flower? Now check this out. You have to get one of these. There is a flower that smells like chocolate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You'd want to eat it.
What? The thing is, it's native to Mexico. It's a dark red flower, but it's not edible to humans. So it might poison you. It's called, see if I can say this, Cosmos atrosanginus, or chocolate cosmos flower.
Right.
Get it for your home. Get your home smelling like chocolate.
Interesting. So what did you say is poisonous?
It's not edible to humans. I don't know if it'll kill you, but it probably won't make you feel very well if you try and chew on some of its leaves. But it produces a whole smell of chocolate in your home.
It's almost like a bit tempting purposely, isn't it? But then actually very deadly if you consumed it.
What's your favourite chocolate bar?
Well, funnily enough, I just finished mentioning on half a bounty.
Oh, you like bounties, do you?
If we have a bounty, I don't know what, we just always share it. Steve will have one half, I'll have the other half. So I just finished half a bounty, and that's quite nice. I do like a chocolate bounty. I like the munches, you know, those chocolate munches.
Oh, they're lush. Yeah, I love those.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice.
Twix bars, they're nice.
They're nice.
You got me some Twix bars, didn't you?
Yep.
They're nice. Oh, and I used to love those magic stars. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
I don't tend to see them much now. They're really nice.
Dairy milk, weren't they? Or were they Milky Way? I can't remember now. But I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, they're really nice. I haven't seen. You don't seem to see so much of them now, but
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going to say, for our viewers, put your favourite chocolate in the comment section right now. Tell us what your favourite chocolate is. We want to know.
Yeah.
And we promise to respond as we're watching this, okay? So let us know what your favourite chocolate is. What's my favourite chocolate? I love fruit and nut Yorkie.
Oh, nice. I've loved that for ages.
Yeah, it's fruit and nut, or is it fruit and biscuit? It's the purple one.
It is fruit and nut.
It's fruit and nut.
I think.
Yeah, it's either fruit and nut or fruit and biscuit, but it's the purple Yorkie bar. I love Yorkie because it's like big chunks of chocolate. Yeah. And I love it when you get the extra big Yorkies. You know, the big ones that you're supposed to share? I don't share it. I don't share my Yorkie with no one. That needs to go on a T-shirt. I don't share my Yorkie with no one. So yeah, I love those Yorkies. They're amazing. I love munches. Munches are fantastic, but there's never enough of them because you just gobble them down so quick, and it's only like a little red kind of square pack, isn't it? You need like at least 2 or 3 packs of those to satisfy you. They're so good.
They're a bit like Pringles, aren't they? They're very moreish.
I love Rolos as well. Do you like Rolos?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't had those for ages, but they're nice.
What I used to love to do with the Rolo is take a Rolo. You know, like the Rolo base has just got a little bit more thick chocolate on it than the rest of it.
Yeah.
Bite off the base and then kind of nibble around the chocolate so you're just left with the caramel. And then you get the caramel.
No, I wouldn't bother with that. Just
shove it in. Typical Nicky. Okay, cool. What, you got another freaky fact for us?
Yes. Okay. Do you know what? These freaky facts that I've got at the moment, these ones are a little bit, they're not so sort of upbeat this week, but you know, they're still very educational and interesting. Apparently your emotions, and I think you've taught on this before, can actually harm your body in different ways, which we've kind of said before, haven't we? Like, you know, if you're a very negative thinker, very negative all the time and sort of quite anxious and that, it's obvious, isn't it, that it's going to affect your body in one way or another, because it's like with stress, isn't it? It's
funny you should mention that, because there's this new book out on Amazon. It's your 7 Days to Joy. It kind of goes into some of this. Don't know who the author is, but on the cover he's a good-looking guy. All I know that.
What would you say? Rate him out of 10, sort of like maybe about a 6.
What, on looks? 6 on looks, but 10 on teeth. He's had his teeth clearly whitened on there. The rest of it looks like a clown.
Right. Should I finish my freaky fact?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just advertise more.
No. Advertising's for peasants. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, so basically where I'm just a little bit of education here. So apparently anger, if you're somebody who gets quite hot-tempered and angry a lot, apparently anger weakens the liver.
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently grief weakens the lungs. Worry weakens the stomach. And it's interesting, that one, because I have heard of, when I've spoken to some people that are real, my mum calls them worrits. She actually calls me a worrit sometimes, my mum does. She's like, oh, Nick, worrying about that again. But people that are really consumed with worry and that sort of thing. It's funny, actually, when I think back of people I've spoke to that have suffered with that, they have said that, oh, my stomach's really hurting at the moment. So it's when I read that, I thought that kind of makes sense, actually, to people I've spoke to that really struggle with worry then, you know. Stress apparently weakens the heart and brain, and fear weakens the kidneys.
All right, okay.
So
very interesting.
It just proves the point that you have to be very careful, like a lot of people say, you know, take control of your emotions, because otherwise, you know, it can affect your health, literally.
It really does. I remember being like maybe like a school child, maybe in junior school, and I was kind of like nervous to go to school. Maybe there was like a bully there, or maybe there was like I hadn't done my homework for a teacher or something. And then the night before, as a little child, you'd worry about it so much that you'd start to get stomach pains. And then you'd be like, oh, I can't go into school, Mum, because I'm ill, I've got stomach pains. But it was the worry or the stress that gave you the stomach pains. So, yeah, I mean, it's strange how that happens, but it does happen. And so, yeah, cool.
It's all linked, isn't it? It's all linked. So, you
know,
got to take care of our emotions then, haven't we? We've got to
take care of it. And, be full of
read
joy.
Our Bible.
Be full of joy all the time. 2 books I'd recommend: the Bible, and there's this other book on Amazon. Okay, did you know? Here's a freaky fact. Although the TV show Friends, remember the TV show Friends, is based around life in New York City, the entire show was filmed in California.
Yeah. I think I must have read that one as well.
Now, I'm asking our viewers, right? I'm asking our viewers, out of the 3 women on Friends, which one does Nikki most look like? Pop it in the comment section right now. And maybe in about 10 seconds, right, you've got 10 seconds, I'm going to put up the picture of who I think Nikki looks like, right? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So is it Rachel? Is it Monica? Is it Phoebe? Okay.
Smelly cat. Smelly cat.
What are they feeding you?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, I'm all freaky fact out.
Right, you are freaky facted out.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a couple more here. Do you want me to share just maybe one more?
Yeah, one quick one. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Your thumb is the same length as your nose.
No. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute, but your thumb's longer than your nose, isn't it?
It's not far off, is it?
Okay, that's true. Let's have a look on mine. So, does it go there? I don't know. I think my thumb's longer. There's a gap there, look.
It does look a bit, yeah. It does.
So
that's obviously not true.
Unless I got either a deformed thumb or a deformed nose.
No, to be fair, when I do it, I was doing it a little bit more into the archy bit there.
Into the arch? Like that?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's pretty close, I suppose.
Pretty close, but if you bring it down, it's where you start.
That's kind of weird. What about a little finger? Little finger's the same, though. Little finger's the same, isn't it? Length as your nose. What about that one? No, that's a bit long.
I think it's a bit longer, but yeah. Yeah. So
wow, there we go. All I know right now, Nick, is that there are many people all over this world right now doing that to see because they just watch this show.
Yeah.
And if you have been doing that, I want you to put it in the comment section and let us know if we kind of subconsciously.
I'm sure. I was going to say, I'm sure Dan will soon tell us if it's true or not. Right.
Okay. We are going over to
the games of insanity.
The games
of insanity.
Ooh, and this week it's Nikki, I believe. Nikki's got the Games of Insanity this week.
Okay, so this one is another 60-second game, which we love doing, our 60-second things, challenges. And it apparently it's something that's quite popular on Zoom and has been quite popular on Zoom through like lockdown and stuff.
Yeah.
It's called Scattergories.
Ooh.
And basically you have 60 seconds to come up with a word that fits into each category. You get 5 categories. And basically the more unique the answer is compared to mine next week, the better. And then we'll just have to leave that up to perhaps someone Dan to judge on that, maybe. Oh, maybe we should choose someone else.
Yeah, let's leave it up to Dan, who is on Team Nikki, right? Very clear about that. What about Annabelle? Annabelle is honest.
Let's choose Annabelle.
Annabelle is godly.
Sorry, Dan.
Annabelle is just a lovely, lovely lady. I really like Annabelle, and I think Annabelle should be our judge because Annabelle is fair. She is pure of heart. And
we'll go with Annabelle. Sorry, Dan.
Who doesn't love Annabelle, right? Come on, Annabelle. Team Paul.
Poor Dan's going to feel real crush right now. Dan's not going to like us anymore.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, so we'll give it to Annabelle then this time. Okay, so you get 60 seconds. We've got 5 categories.
Okay. Yep.
1 letter. And you have to come up with, obviously, like I said, a word that fits each category. And so I've got my timer here with my minute on it.
Look at that. Check that out.
So I'll start that. Can you see that this is it's shatterproof, this one? It has to be. Right. Okay, so your letter is C. Yeah.
Yep.
And your first, as soon as I say the first one, you've got to go, okay?
What have I got to do?
Here,
Sorry, what have I got to do?
you've got to go. Oh, have you not been listening?
Yeah.
Naughty!
Of course I listen.
So you get 5 different categories, okay?
Yep.
And you get a letter, which is your letter is C, A, B, C.
Yep.
And you get 60 seconds to come up with a word that fits each category.
Okay, cool.
Obviously,
Just
if you
one
don't
word.
do it in time, then you...
I get 60 seconds
So you
to think of one word.
That goes with that category, that subject.
Okay, that's easy enough, I think.
Yeah, but basically, don't forget, though, the more unique the answer is, the better. Because if you do one for me next week,
okay,
and perhaps Annabelle thinks that maybe some of mine were more unique, or some of yours, whatever, whoever she thinks were more unique wins.
Annabelle will. Okay, carry on then.
Right, so I'm going to start the timer as soon as I'm saying is C is your letter. I'm going to start the timer.
Sorry.
No. Okay, food.
Ciabatta bread.
Okay, yeah.
That's how you say
2,
it.
colour.
Crimson.
TV show.
Cheers.
Sport.
Croquet.
5, film.
Cops and Robertsons.
Well done, you
Ooh.
had 12 seconds left.
Cool.
Well done. Very good. That's very good.
Right, so
Now, who's in that last film you're on about?
Cops
I've
and
never heard of
Robertsons.
that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really old film from the 80s. And I was just trying to think of a film that's like really random and out there so that, Annabelle appreciates the lengths I went to get my answers. So,
yeah.
did I pronounce that bread thing right? Is it called ciabatta? Ciabatta bread?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, so it's nice ciabatta bread. And what was the one you did? What was the colour? Crimson. That's
Crimson.
good.
Yeah.
And TV show Cheers. Yeah. Okay.
Cheers, old
Is
classic.
Who's in that again?
It's all like Woody Harrelson, Ted Danson. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. That one, yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched it. I've never heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
It was cool. I think it was all right growing up. Probably didn't understand half of the humour, but yeah, I used to have it on and watch it.
Oh,
cool. Are we finished then?
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's really quick, wasn't it? You did really well.
So Annabelle's going to judge your answers next week as opposed to mine, and then she's going to declare the winner.
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. I trust Annabelle. Annabelle's a fair judge. Okay, let's go over to joke of the week. Nikki, do you have a couple of jokes for us?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Go on then. Blast that eyebrow.
Sorry?
Blast that eyebrow.
All right. The advantages of easy origami are twofold.
Oh, very nice. Mr. Joker like that one. Okay, here we go. What do you call a girl with one leg that's shorter than the other?
Go on.
Eileen. Okay, go on then. What you got?
Okay, conjunctivitis.com. That's a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, very nice. Okay, I got one more. Did you hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France? There was nothing left but debris. Okay, cool. What are we going over to next?
Holy Ghost gossip.
So we're going over to Holy Ghost gossip.
Yes. And what are we doing this week, Nick?
Okay. So we just wanted to sort of speak about and share all of the things that God has done through Clear Spring, just over the years, and from yourself, from your point of view, since you and Sarah sort of started the church. Just would be, interesting if you could just share a few things that you think are just pretty amazing what God has done with Clear Spring Church.
Yeah, okay. So when Sarah and I first started the church, we started it without any finance. We started it without a building, and we started it without any people. It was just me and Sarah, and we decided to meet together in the front room of our flat. I think it was a flat at the time. Was it the house? It was one of those two. I think it was the flat. We met together in the front room of our flat, and nobody was interested in joining us at all. And so we just kept on meeting together, the two of us, to worship God, and I'd do a sermon, she would play the piano. And we just started going out on the street, handing out leaflets to people about Jesus and about God. And one couple received the leaflet, and they were so impressed with what they were doing, they said they wanted to join us on the Sunday. So they came along on the Sunday, and so now there were 4 of us. A week later, there was 5 of us, and then they started to invite their friends and so on and so forth. And we moved to the community centre, where it quickly grew to about 30 or 40 people. A lot of them were youth. And then we got a letter in the post to say that the community centre was being knocked down. And when it was knocked down, we had nowhere to meet again. And so we just lost everything and everybody. And so that was really, really difficult for Sarah and I, because we'd worked probably by this stage for a year, 2 years, that time scale. We had grown this church, and then all of a sudden we lost everybody because all of the local places shut their doors to us. They didn't want us to use their hall for church, so we had nowhere to kind of worship. But we persisted, we carried on. And then soon enough, another hall opened up to us, and we began to grow again, and more people started to come along. And in those early days, we were reaching maybe a couple of hundred people within our local vicinity. But now when you look at the church all of this time later, we're now reaching, if you look at our latest figures on social media, we're close now to 4 million people. We're reaching 4 million people with what we're doing. So really, that's just kind of a brief history of the church. And really, the moral of the story is that if God is with you, it doesn't mean to say you're always going to have an easy time. But if you persist, not only will your character grow, but your ministry will grow too. And as you prove faithful in what you're doing for God, God will give you more responsibility. And so it really is all about kind of stickability, sticking with it. It's all about being faithful in the small things, and then allowing God then to open up bigger things for you as you grow and as you mature. And only God knows that time when you're ready. We often think we're ready, but we're not. God knows the time when we're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, his timing's perfect in that. I mean, even with the coffee mornings and things that we were doing for a little while and that, you know, even though they were quite small, I would say, like, God did bring along the right people at the right time. And you'd often find, like, even if it was just a couple of people, you'd end up, like, having just, I don't know, being able to share the gospel directly with those people, actually have, you know, end up having quite a few things in common with them regarding whatever, so you'd be able to create like a little bit of a sort of friendship then, if you like, with them, bit of a relationship, so then they actually felt like, oh, we can come back to this, and these people are actually interested in us and interested in giving us time. Because I think for some people, especially if it's older person perhaps that has been retired for a while, they perhaps don't have a lot to do with their time, that sort of thing is very important to them. And you know, it gives them sort of a different sort of what's the word, more of a routine to their week. And I found that even in that, even though, you know, it didn't particularly grow really big or anything, there were definitely the right people that would come along on the right week, and things would just happen, obviously in the perfect way that God intended it, even though we might not see that and think, oh, it's a shame that we haven't had like 50 or 60 people coming along or whatever. But it's like you say, I think God builds and grows you in that time anyway and helps you develop. And then you know, we do what we're doing now, and the church does what it's doing now, and it's amazing, isn't it? Like you say, what ClearSpring has really achieved, to be honest. And like you say, all the different people we're reaching, and even in like this lockdown and that, all of the, like, you know, things like what you've been doing with writing your books and things and all of that sort of thing, that may not have happened if we didn't have this lockdown and we didn't have the COVID. And so even though it's, you know, it's been a horrible time for a lot of people with this COVID and stuff, and a horrific time for some people, God also uses that for good. And he can turn any situation around. And like you say, when you go back to when you and Sarah very first started the church, it may have felt like you were almost sort of hitting a brick wall for a long time, like probably getting quite frustrated, like why aren't these people allowing us to sort of use their hall, you know, why isn't this growing anymore, that sort of thing. But like you say, God, he uses all of that for different reasons, specific reasons, doesn't he? So
he does. And yeah, the final thing I'd want to say on that is, like, be a person that doesn't give up, because 99% of people, they give up too soon.
That's right.
They quit when they're just about to get a breakthrough, whether it's growing a church, growing a ministry, whatever it is, developing a relationship or something. They give up because, you know, time. A lot of people, when they go into ministry, they think, well, because God is with me, it's just going to explode. I've got this amazing gift that everybody would want to hear. And they enter into ministry and it's just a hard slog. But instead of people kind of respecting you, they often get jealous of you. There's a lot of animosity and anger that you have started something that they haven't. There's often a lot of opposition from other churches and other ministers who try and close you down. And so this is quite a learning curve for a lot of people. And a lot of people give up at this point. They think, well, if all of these people are against me, nobody's supporting me, this can't be of God. But the actual truth is, the reverse is true. God would never give you something easy, because if he did that, number one, he'd be an irresponsible parent. Number two, he's not developing your character for the long run.
Right.
For bigger things yet to come. It's like you would never give little Joppy a sharp knife. Now, if he was a teenager, it wouldn't be so bad. But at his age, he could do himself some real damage. And it's the same with growing a ministry. God will never give you a massive ministry when you're just starting out. And people who do develop massive ministries straight away, that's usually because God isn't with them. It's usually the enemy that's doing something to destroy them, and more often than not, it finishes them off for life. So yeah, be wary of fast-growing ministries.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I don't agree with that. I think in anything you do, isn't it? You always should have that sort of thing in the back of your head. Never give up, which is something my dad's always said to me. Never give up, Nick. Doesn't matter how long or how hard something is. You always persist of it. Always persist. And I think it's good having that persistence. And I think God gives us that kind of persistent nature in a way, actually, because, like you said, in ourselves, a lot of the time we may have that sort of side to us that thinks, oh, forget it, I can't be bothered anymore, then it's not working, and let's do something else. But I think, when you really know God, he does develop that persistence in you and that kind of motivation, doesn't he, to drive on. And it probably helps if you are a little bit persistent anyway, because if you spoke to my mum and Steve, they'd both tell you that I'm extremely persistent, perhaps too persistent sometimes.
It's not a bad trait. Okay, we need to move on. Time is against us as always. Now we're going over to our final section, which is...
Oh boy, it's time for the Pie Face Challenge!
Pie Face Challenge!
It's the Pie Face Challenge, the Atomic Pie Face Challenge. This week we have got a very simple game, and I think the score is tied at 4 atomic points each. What was that, Mrs. Spoonie? What was that? Proverbs 26. Did you say Proverbs 26, or was it Proverbs 20 verse 6, Mrs. Spoonie?
No, it was 26. Was it 26?
Now she puts a gap in there. Okay, here we go. So this is a game of rock, paper, scissors. Best of, we're going to do 5. It's the person who gets the most out of 5. Okay, so let me see your hand. Let me see up at the screen. Okay, and I'm going to say rock, paper, scissors, shoot. On shoot, we got to go for it, okay? Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Both the same. Oh, here we go again. Here we go. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, I cover you. I win one.
Do you know what? I was going to go with paper then as well, and I changed my mind right at the last second.
All right, so that's 1 to Paul. Okay, we've got 3 games left. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Wins number 2. Okay, we've got 2 games left. Here we go. Ready? Hang on, I haven't said it yet. Wait. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah!
Oh, well done. 1 to Nikki. Okay, how many have we done? So that's 4. Oh, it's this next one. If you get this next one, if you win this next one, then we go to sudden death. If you lose this, then I win, okay? Here we go again. Ready?
Yeah!
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh. Okay, so that's best of 5. 2-1 to me.
No, that's rubbish. We should do it again. It's too soon.
That was 5 games. The first game was a draw. The 5th game was a draw. I won 2, you won 1. So Paul wins the Atomic Pie Face point this week. So the score is now 5-4 to Paul.
That's not bad, no. I just need to win next week again, and then next week.
And hopefully we should be kind of well, time is running out for us now, Nick, because we should be coming back together again soon. And when we do, the Atomic Pie Face is happening for one of us. So
you're going to purposely make it where as soon as your score's higher than mine, you're like, right, we've got to go back to normal now.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay, see you next week, guys. Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. We hope you liked it. Now, what would be really nice is if you would subscribe to our channel and told all your friends about us, as this would advertise our show for free. And it would be really nice if you could do that for me. The Paul and Nicky Show. The greatest show on earth. Woohoo!